Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing excellent. Let me know how you guys are doing today. In today's video, we are going to be doing a drawing live stream and we're going to be doing story time together. So, this is going to be really good. We left off the story with a good note last time. It's getting real interesting. Dave, Raymond, and a whole lot of other people are contributing, and they're making the story as it is, and it is turning out really good, you guys. It's turning out really good. I'm kind of getting ready for this live as we speak. I did not come really prepared, but I've been super busy lately. I've honestly been super busy, and so I've been doing a lot of interviews for work. I've been applying to places and I've been going places, been going all over. So right now I'm getting the thumbnail ready for this live stream. If I don't catch your message, just wait a moment. Okay, so I don't see anybody here yet. Don't worry, I will be right back. I have to go check on my dad really quick, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hi, Dave. Hi, Julian. How are you guys doing today? I just had to talk with my dad for a second. He needed something. He wanted me to help my mom help her, try to see if she wants to list some things today. But I'm pretty busy at the moment. So, hello, Bud Klein. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. How are you doing? We're going to be doing some story building. So basically, everybody is going to be contributing to each part of this story that we have been building and trying. It's been such a while, honestly, since we've talked about the story. It's kind of hard to remember each event from last week. So, and I'm also going to be coloring in the interim so that you guys don't get completely bored, because there is some dead space when we do this. So I'm looking to see what marker was it that I was using last for this. I think I used a bright blue, something like this here, you guys. Hey, Amy, thank you for coming by. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, AJ. Hey, Susan. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of peeps in here. This is awesome. I honestly wasn't expecting that big of a crowd today, but I'm glad that you all are here. We're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to be doing story time, and we are going to be doing, you guys are going to watch me color. Amy, you kind of inspired me to do coloring. Every time lately I've been seeing her paint, I'm like, okay, I want to color. And then either I do it in the stream with her or I do it on my channel. So right now I'm doing it on my channel. So Amy, you inspire me. So I am going to be doing some coloring. So I have to find my test sheet. Hey, Grandpa. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. So basically, Dave, if you're still in here, hey, 132 Customs. Oh, yes, so it's so funny. Me and my friend Victor, or 132 Customs, we've been sarcastically playing with each other the salesman pitch, and I declined to buy Bob's sale insurance thing that he was trying to sell to me. And I'm like, a light bulb moment struck when we were doing this thing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I could have Bob in my story. He'll be that annoying salesman, but he'll be friends with Jonathan. So I'm going to include, a car warranty. He wanted me to extend my car warranty. It's a joke, but it was funny, and because we were doing like a role play type of thing, and it was fun. And so I'm going to be including Bob in the story. He's going to be very annoying, but he's going to be friends with Jonathan. So that's nice, right? That's not what I'm looking for. But anybody who was here for the story last time, can you try to fill me in on the story? I don't even remember what happened last time, which is pretty sad, but hey, that's what happens when you don't do your live streams all at a couple days from each other. Okay, that's not the color that I was expecting. That's not blue-gray. That's like blue-green or gray-green. What in the world? So, you don't remember anything other than Nancy being hit in the head. That traumatized you, huh, Amy? Your character getting abused. Dave abused Nancy by allowing Mabel to smack Nancy upside the head with a gun. But, okay, I'm starting to remember. So basically, what happened in the story, I remember part of it now. So basically, what happened last time was, basically, Jonathan's dad is the boss of this underground business that has been going on. There's a underground boss, and then there's the boss of that boss. And the boss of that boss is Jonathan's father. And he sets himself up as a private investigator, and he actually has a successful business being a private investigator. At the very end, we don't know if Mabel and Kyra are in the ditch because Jonathan's father used a remote control to try to run their car off the road. That's right. I remember that. And so basically, Jonathan's father was going to a remote house. It was kind of like their getaway in the forest, not in the forest, but in the desert. And he saw the police there. The police were looking through the house, and Jonathan's father cut the gas lines to the house, and he blew up the house, and all the police officers died, and there was many casualties. So he left the scene, and not thankfully, but there were none of his cohorts or minions were hurt in that. So basically, he left, and he had a remote control to control Kyra's vehicle that was transporting, or not Kyra's vehicle, but Mabel's vehicle and Kyra was in there, and basically he used that remote to take to try to take Kyra's and Mabel's life because he's done using them both and they're both considered loose ends. So then Jonathan's father kills the the chemist or the chemistry teacher or something like that. He secretly does hypnosis, and he hypnotized Mabel. So now nobody will ever know that Mabel was hypnotized by the scientist teacher who worked at the university. And I think that's how the story left off. Yeah, Mabel had been hypnotized. Yes, it was the chair in Mabel's department. Sorry about that. Yes, not all of the facts are coming to my memory correctly. So, but now we'll be able to start the story. It's basically also that Jonathan is in the hospital. He had to recover from. Okay, help me out here. What was Jonathan trying to recover from? He was in the hospital, I remember that, but what was he trying to recover from? That's what I don't remember. Hypo of poison. He got poisoned, basically. Alright. And so, do you guys remember what happened with Nancy? Okay, let me move this a little bit so that you guys will be able to see. Let's see. What do I want to color next? I have to find the color that matches that. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have to do a little bit of overlapping with that one. So, okay, let's this box that's on my lap. Put that there. You know, this is almost a type of a Dick Tracy story. You know, I haven't heard of him. Dave, is that one of the books that you're reading right now? Okay, this is not the color actually that I was trying to go for here, but I can always darken it up with another color. It'll kind of be like the primer of the darker color. Nancy went off in the background. I think she wanted to prove her sister's innocence because it was Mabel's husband. Yeah, so Mabel's husband is the underground boss that is under Jonathan's father. And Mabel still has not gone to court yet, so we need to somehow include that in this story today, I think. Her court sentence. Because she does have a plea deal. She got out. I think she got out on bail, didn't she? Or I must be thinking of someone else. Bye, Susan. Thank you so much for coming. I greatly appreciate it. Have a good dinner. I think this may be the color. If not, I can always just go over it like I'm doing with the other color here. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Who wants to start the story? I know Victor, aka 132 Customs, he has dibs on Bob, so he called dibs on Bob last night. Even though you guys didn't have the chance to call dibs on him, he kind of created Bob, so he wants to kind of have influence over Bob's part of the story. So that is reserved for him. You guys can include him in your guys' part of the story, but Victor mainly wants to be able to control Bob for the most part. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Mabel got out but kidnapped Kyra again and took her in the car. Mabel's husband was killed by Jonathan's father. That's right. She slit his throat. He slit his throat. Yeah, he slit his throat at the university. Same as with the chair of the department. That's right. Okay. I completely remember that now. Yeah, I remember. Thank you for telling me that. That was actually a very important detail of that. Since I had missed so much, I'll sit out this one. Okay. Yeah, there is a lot that has happened. I wish you guys would had been filled in on the last parts of the story so that you guys would be able to contribute. But I need to figure out some way how I'll be able to in the future be able to include you guys, like maybe do different like do a smaller mystery. Maybe once we solve this one, we'll probably try to do smaller mysteries for now on, because I do want you guys to be able to contribute and we can start fresh and every time, you know? Instead of doing this long chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 thing, you know? Maybe you can post a summary of it all somewhere. Maybe I can. We'll see. Yeah, it all just depends on if I remember the events of the story properly. But Dave, would you like to have the honors and start the story first? Because I know, Dave, I'm sure you're excited to start this story, so, or have this story started, so. Have one story per stream. Yeah, not everyone can make all of them. I hate that I missed so much of this one because it's good. It is hard to. I understand that you guys do have lives outside of YouTube, but it is pretty hard to make all streams all the time. So, yeah, I should probably figure out something maybe I could do where I could post the outcomes of the story somewhere. Like maybe I can post them on my discussion tab or something so that you guys know for the future that I will be posting them there or something like that. It's not officially a community tab yet, but maybe when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to do that too. Even though it's not 1,000 subscribers yet, I still could probably get away with doing it. Just so that you guys would know what happens. Along the highway, as smoke is rising over the forest, we see the car carrying Kyra and Mabel wedged into a ditch with the back of the car burning. A groggy Kyra wakes up and smells the smoke or something. Must be smells the smoke. Smells the smoke. She sees Mabel passed out but is trapped in the seatbelt. Mabel's door is free, but Mabel is out cold. Interesting. How is she gonna set herself free? All with her foot, Kyra pries open the glove box to discover a nail file. She uses it to cut the seatbelt and free herself just in time to drag out Mabel before the car explodes, knocking them all down on the ground as they rush from the inferno. Wow. I could perfectly see that happening. I could literally see that perfectly happening. Dave, one thing's for sure, you are a really good storyteller. Really good storyteller. If you can see what they're talking about in your mind, then that means you are telling the story perfectly. That's exactly what that means. Not using the right marker. You done, Dave? Gosh, I'm having such a hard time trying to get these lines all soft. Okay, he has basically told this entire story. So interesting. Edge of seat drama. Yup, he sure has. Okay, so if there isn't anybody else who wants to contribute to the story, I'll go ahead and start it next. So let me know if there's anybody who does want to contribute. I know Amy, you want to sit out on this one. Bud Klein, same with you. Anybody else? AJ, do you want to contribute? Where's the guy with the Bob story? I don't know what happened to Victor, but he let me see if he said BRB. He's probably in here, but just hasn't. Yeah, he said BRB. Yeah, he said BRB, so he'll be back. Well, hello, Alan. How are you doing? Trying to think of something to call you, but I can't. Call me Sandwich Maker. I'm trying to think of something to call you. Amy, you should be. Yeah, he said. I said BRB. Victor, he said BRB. So I'm trying to think how to continue this story next. What's up? To my car? They're in here. Don't worry. You can come in. It's not going to show you.
Where are the keys?
It's right by that binder there. By that ball. Behind the ball. If you want, you can open the window. Alan, this is actually a model that I've designed myself. I am getting help from models like the Lamborghini Centenario, but this is a model that I designed. Gosh, this is not turning out that great. At least the part that I'm working on right now, it's coming out all sloppy. I could probably touch it up or something. The Ebert Land Cruiser Class 7. Well, she is not around any of the characters at present, so you could insert her any place. She just wants to clear Mabel. Mabel has been hypnotized and she wants to prove it, but Jonathan's dad has killed the one who did the hypnosis, so it's going to be difficult. Right. So basically, Kyra is sitting on the ground. She's watching the car burn to ashes, literally, because this car is literally toast. And she thinks of it as evidence for what has been happening to her, because it's part of crime. It's being used for crime. It kidnapped her. It was used to kidnap her, excuse me. And she's like, what am I gonna use? What's gonna first I need help. We need help. But I want somehow to save a piece of this car, but literally she can't do that because the car is burning. So basically she can't really do much other than just sit on the ground because she had actually injured herself. She had injured her leg, and so she can't really walk right now. It's either sprained or something worse than that. So she's gonna have to sit for a little bit. And so now, back at the hospital, Jonathan is just thinking of everything that's been happening, and he's wondering how Kyra is doing. But he calls Kyra and he gets no response. It actually, as a matter of fact, it goes straight to voicemail. Since the phone burned in the fire, there's no way that phone could receive calls anymore. That SIM card is toast. That phone is history. There's no way that phone could be saved now. And so it goes straight to voicemail. It says that this phone is not able to take any calls right now. Please try again later. And it hangs up, and he's like, something's not right here. What's going on? And so he calls Nancy, and he's like, Nancy, something's going on. And Nancy's like, what's happening? Is everything okay? He says no. Kyra is one to usually answer her phone all the time. She always has her phone glued to her, but she's not answering the phone, and that really concerns me. And I don't know if something's happened to her or what. And Nancy says, okay, I'll try to figure out what's going on, and I'll try to reach Mabel. Well, she hangs up. Mabel tries to call Nancy, or not Mabel, but Nancy tries to call Mabel, but her phone goes straight to voicemail too. And so she's like, okay, this is not good. And so she calls the police, but she doesn't just call the police, she calls specifically Detective Debbie, and she tells Detective Debbie of everything that has been going on, with a suspicion around Kyra and Mabel not answering their phone. She's wondering if something's happened to them, and she knows that Detective Debbie will be one to immediately do something about it, because she knows that that Nancy wouldn't lie to her about this, about people going missing. Nancy, being nosy as naturally, she decides to do what is best. Snoop, she's determined to prove that her sister is not behaving normal. Yep, and this phone call makes it even worse, because even though they don't talk often, they always talk on the phone, even if it's like every once a month, and Mabel is one to answer her phone all the time too. And she knows that this is not right either, her not answering her phone. So Detective Debbie convinces the head of police to do something about this. So the head of police sends out police officers to look for Kyra and Mabel. But on the other side of town, there was someone who was walking through the university, like maybe a custodian or something, and he notices that there is a dead body on the floor, and it's disgusting. It's literally just like an untouched crime scene of someone's murder, and he literally is in disgust, and he calls 911 immediately. And while the head of police is trying to get the police officers to look for Mabel and Kyra, he gets a call from the janitor at the university, and he finds out that there has been a murder at the university. And so he actually decides to send out his policemen to the university to figure out this crime scene. And the police officers get there in an instant. They actually get there like within minutes, and they ask this janitor, where has this murder happened? He said, it took place in the office. I was just coming in and I was about to sweep the floor, and all of a sudden I see this person just laying on the floor, and this person happens to be the chairman of the head at the science department of that university. And so he gives them more specific details on where this dead body was found. And so the police officers get in there, and they see the body. It has not been moved since the janitor has last seen it, and he confirms that. And they examine the whole scene. They look for any weapons. They look for any hair that could be from the person. And turns out Jonathan's father had actually had he had one of his hairs. He didn't leave it on purpose, but by accident there was one of his hairs left on the desk, and this police officer happened to notice it, and he picked it up with a tissue, and he's like, I think I may have found myself some evidence. And so basically this police officer had told the head of police, and he said, okay, put this in the bag, make sure that this hair does not get touched. This may be perfect evidence. This may be the criminal's DNA. And now, what happens next? That's okay, Alan. Yeah, you don't have to contribute to the story, but I know that Dave, he wants to contribute to the story, and Victor wants to contribute to the story too, but he's on BRB right now, so he can't really do that right now. She is great at storytelling, Alan. She is really good. You need to go to one of her live streams and or one of her past live streams and hear her do some storytelling. It's literally some of the best storytelling that I have ever heard. And Amy, I hope you do those soon. I really love it when you tell stories. I really do. Okay, Amy. Thank you for staying. I greatly appreciate it, Amy. You have fun walking your dog and have a good time hanging with your hubby. And we'll talk to you soon. So Dave says, wearing gloves, Jonathan's father enters Mabel's apartment and plants the knife he used to kill Mabel's husband in the chair of Mabel's apartment. He plants several diamonds and maps of the cabin where Mabel had taken Kyra before. He also douses brake fluid all over one of Mabel's blouses and hides it in the back of her closet. He puts the poison that was used to shoot into Jonathan under. Okay, Amy, I'll be looking forward to it for sure. Yep, and Alan, he's taking the challenge real well. Dave is another great storyteller too. He is another great storyteller. He's probably one of the most important parts of the storytelling process and the story building because he contributes so much of the twists and turns. So I'm very grateful that he's here. The story would not be the same if he was not here. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to do the storytelling and drawing at the same time. I thought it'd be easy, but it's not. So if you guys find that I'm doing a lot of drawing and not a lot of the storytelling properly, just know that. Mabel's sink. Hearing from a police informant that evidence has been found. Jonathan's father instructs his stooge to find the hair and destroy it, which he does. Dave, why'd you do that? Come on. Why? You're making this story hard. I'm gonna have to be more specific now. I'm gonna have to be a lot more specific. I had something in mind when it came to finding Jonathan's hair in there. But Who was the informant that told Jonathan's father that the hair was in there? Who was it, so that it's just clear to all the audience here? Because, mind you, he does work for an underground business, so... Well, it's not that he works for it, he owns the underground business. Excuse me. No one witnesses Jonathan's father arrive, kill the policeman, or leave. He is completely unseen and his evidence is left behind. Jonathan's... Oh, I'm missing a lot, sorry. Informant meets with Jonathan's father in a dark alley. As a car pulls up, the window goes down and a gun comes out and shoots the policeman dead. Oof. The gun has a silence, so no one hears it. No one witnesses Jonathan's father's arrival. He doesn't witness him kill the policeman or leave. He is completely unseen and no evidence is left behind from that. You done, Dave? Oh, the part about the license plate, huh? I did see a license plate. Oh, Jonathan's father had previously covered up the license plate with mud so no one would see his car. So the car is in a dark alley. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to make it so that the car is not noticeable in the alley. Is that what he's trying to do? Is that what the informant and Jonathan's father is trying to do, I should say. Okay, I have to fix the top of this car. It's looking green. It's driving me crazy. And so no one is around. So no one around can see the number. Okay. Okay, it's still looking green. That's not what I wanted. Okay, what do we do? Okay, that will probably fix it. And so no one around can see the number. Right. So it is just left in the alley for ruins, and it has to be up to someone who goes in the alley to actually see that car. Oh, the car is gone. What happened to the car? Did the informant drive it somewhere? There we go. It's somewhat fixed now. There we go. No, I didn't read it right. Jonathan's father drove the car there to meet the informant. Oh, he shot the informant. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. I see. So, the informant, did he have his no loose ends. You're like, I'm making sure you can't do anything to that. You're making sure that Jonathan's father sticks around for a long time. Well, I'm going to have to figure out a loose end somewhere. And I think I know. So, since back like a couple days ago, Jonathan's father and Mabel's ex, they met at the university, and where they had met was a very discreet location. They did not meet out in the open. This was in a it was like in a one of those mobile houses that was used for storage for PE equipment. And so there was a whole bunch of PE equipment, and Jonathan's father happened to have one of the keys to that, and he unlocked that room so that Jonathan's father and Mabel's ex, Frank, could meet in there. So basically, they locked the door he locked the door so that no one could get in at the time. And they were talking in there, and remember, Jonathan's father had slit Frank's throat. Right. Okay. So basically, one of the PE teachers had unlocked it, and was like, noticed that the room was locked. And normally they don't leave the room locked just because they know that people want to sneak in there anyways. They've never had any problems with people stealing equipment from that room or from the storage room. And so they were kind of questioning why that door was locked in the first place. So the light is off, which sets off another thing. The PE teacher is like, why is the light off? The teacher turns the light on, and this person sees a dead body on the ground, and this person's throat is slit. And basically, this teacher screams and runs out, and this teacher runs to her purse and calls the police. And the head of the police hears this story, and actually hears that there's another murder at the same university once again. He's like, okay, something's going on here. And he thinks, why is the same university having murder cases why is this university having murder cases here? And so the police head out there once again. They go to the storage room where Frank was, and again, nothing has been tampered with. And the head of police gets involved this time. He doesn't sit back and waits for the police officers to do the inspecting. He goes in himself too, and he's looking around. He inspects the dead body, and he notices, like the last case, this person's throat was slit. And he's like, okay, this must be the same person that has killed the chemistry teacher, because the throat is slit, and it's slit in the exact same area where the other person's throat was slit. So he notices that and takes note of that in his notebook. And so he also inspects to see if anything has been tampered with. He notices that nothing's been tampered with. However, there is another one of Jonathan's hairs left in there, and it was a very small little hair. It was hard to tell by the regular glance, or like a regular eye glance, but he saw it on the ground. And this wasn't just placed anywhere. This was just like by it was like right by where the dodgeballs were. It was right by where the dodgeballs were in this room. And so he picks up this hair, and he's like, evidence. So he puts this in the bag, and he's like, we need to take this evidence and store it securely somewhere where no one would be able to get it. and tamper with it because someone had taken the evidence from this last case and had destroyed it. So basically, he had told the police officers to immediately send this to the lab to get its DNA tested to see whose this hair belongs to. And so they immediately take it to the lab, and they want to do this because they don't want anybody to mess with the evidence. He finds out there is nowhere safe where he can place the evidence because anyone can just go in there, break into the office, and take the DNA. And so the police officers immediately send it up to the lab. And they immediately test it there because, of course, this is the police requesting it. They put an immediate expedite on this before any other case because this is a very important piece of evidence. And so it was actually the only piece of evidence that was there is this one hair. And so they do the DNA testing on it then at the spot, and they have, this city has like some of the best DNA testing technology there is. They have the best systems, the best tech, the best scanning there is. So there's no way that this could misread or give wrong results. And so what happens now is basically the lab has to report this to the police office. They have to drive there. They can't tell this over the phone. They have to drive over there and do this. So basically one of the people from the lab go over to the police office in the city by trying to think where this police office is located. I don't know, but I'm gonna, just for the heck of it, I'm gonna say it's on the same street where the cafe and the bar was, where that mass shooting was. Yeah, it was on the same street, but this was a very, very long street. So it was like about maybe 3 minutes away from the cafe. So it was a long street, and basically the scientist gets there. He asks for the head of the department, and the head of the department comes in, and he sees that there's paperwork and the hair for this person's not the victim, but the murderer possibly, or the suspect of this case, and the results for the DNA. And so they go into the office, and they sit down, they close the doors, they make sure that their phones are off so that nothing could be tapped. All devices, all radios, all TVs, every single device that could be turned on is off, even the lights. And so they turn off everything, and they sit down. He sits down at the desk. The scientist sits at the other side of the desk, and the scientist says, we have a match for this person. This person's name. Okay, guys, I need your guys' help. What should Jonathan's father name should be? What should his name be? I'll let you guys determine that. You say this was 2 days before the police found the chair? It was in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where Harvard was. That's right. Okay, Cambridge, Massachusetts. It was in the city of Cambridge. Okay. Thank you. That's right. That's where the setting was. So, yeah, I did say that. Because wasn't the William, yes. Okay, so William. Okay, we need to have a last name for him too. Okay, so William. I'm just going to say Bentley. William Bentley. Jonathan Bentley and William Bentley. You know the stream still lags a little. I'm sorry, Alan. William Shakespeare. Or William Shakespeare. How you said it. How you spelt it. Shaq here in America is spelled S-H-A-C. Yeah, Shaq. It has the K at the end. So how you would pronounce that, it would be Shakespeare instead of Shakespeare. So Shakespeare. And the first murder. So the death of the boss was the first murder, not the second. Okay, and the second murder was evidence was stolen. I know, I'm a good speller. And I remember before the boss... Oh, the boss was killed at the docks? So he was killed at the docks. Didn't he say... Wasn't it at the university where they met? For some reason, I thought it was at the school where they met. Okay, so basically, it was at the docks. Okay, I have to rethink how this crime scene was then. He has no connection to the school. The boss is a jewel thief. He has no connection to the school. So, okay, I'm going to have to change that whole part of the story then. So I'm going to just say that this happened at nighttime. Yeah, Mabel's ex. Mabel's ex is called Frank, I think. I think his name is Frank. So, basically, a lot is happening at once, that's for sure. So, basically, this meeting happened at night. Jonathan's, or Frank, he was killed at night, and he was killed at the dock. And so he was there at the dock, and at the time when this was happening, Jonathan's father was thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to dispose of this body and make sure that no one gets to it? So he's making sure no one is looking around, right? And what he does is he tosses this dead body into the ocean so that this body cannot be found. And there's a lot of waves. There's a lot of crashing waves at this time. And so he tosses this body into the sea, and the body gets swept by the waves. And there's no trace of Frank now. So his evidence is being mixed in with all this ocean water and all the seaweed and everything. So Jonathan's father then leaves, and he rushes to the car, and he leaves. But he did not happen to notice that at the restaurant by this dock, there is a restaurant, there's like a dock, another dock by this beach, or wherever this dock was. There was a building nearby. It was actually like maybe 400 feet away. And there was a person actually in there, and this person actually witnessed every single thing that happened. He saw that this person, whoever it was, disposed of this dead body into the sea, and this person that got tossed made no effort whatsoever to try to save himself. And so this person concluded that this person was dead, and the person who had taken this dead body to the ocean and tossed it in there was involved. He didn't know if he had killed him. He didn't see that part, but he noticed that this person, whoever it was, tossed this dead body into the ocean. This person happened to be the owner of that dock. And so this person actually had called the police at that time because he knew that this person was dangerous and he wouldn't know where this person would go, Jonathan's father, William Bentley, and he tells the police that I just saw a person disposing a dead body in the ocean. The police says, what makes you know that this is a dead body? He says, this person literally just allowed him to be tossed into the sea, and the person who was tossed into the sea made no effort whatsoever to try to escape. And he was not moving, did not look like he was breathing. I had binoculars on him. And the police asked, do you have any description of the person who tossed the dead body into the ocean? He said, yes, I do. This person has brown hair. He is very tall. He is very, he has long legs. He was wearing black clothing. He looked very professional. He looked like he was well dressed, and he looked like he was just trying to hide, and he was actually wearing a mask, and he had slits over his eyes so that he could see out of this mask. This person had green eyes. This person had green eyes. I know that for a fact. And he wore these Nike tennis shoes too, so that he could escape very quickly. And so they say, thank you for that. We will take this into consideration for the evidence, for the description of this person. And so the police get there, and they get to the dock, and they try to see if they can see this dead body. Well, they can't see the body anywhere in sight. But Jonathan's father is not that great at trying to take away all of his evidence. Even though he tries to act like it, he can only get away with so much at one time, because like every criminal, they all do bad things a lot at once, try to cover their tracks. Well, Jonathan's father had dropped the weapon that he had used on the dock. And so this pocket knife, it was a weird, very, very weird pocket knife. And it wasn't your ordinary pocket knife. It's not something you could get at TJ Maxx. This person inspected it, and he noticed that there was some initials on it. The initials went WKB. WKB. It didn't give his name, but it had initials on it, WKB. And so he had took that evidence, put it in a bag, and he was like, okay, I think this is all we can get from this scene. We'll go talk to the owner of this dock and make sure if there isn't anything he's leaving out. And so they go there, and they talk to him for like maybe 10 minutes or so. They gather any last evidence that could be from that. And so basically, they take this knife, and they take it to the lab to get it tested. And they get it tested that day. And so this was the next day when this happened, though. They waited in another, oh my word. Sorry for my stumbling words, you guys. Hold on, I have to check your messages, Dave. Jonathan's father thinks back to the house that explodes and what he wanted to do. He calms down and says, we can work it out. And as his henchman turns, Jonathan's father sticks a knife in his neck. So it wasn't the throat. Okay, so I'll just say that basically it was his neck. So basically, like before, this didn't happen at the same part of the body, like at like what I was saying at the physical education storage room. So basically, let me think. So they get it tested that day. The machinery that they have at this lab is very advanced, and scans for DNA, for anything on it in minutes. It only takes like maybe 5 or 7 minutes for it to do a complete scan and do a match of someone in the system of Social Security to match this person's DNA. And the police officer waits, or the head of police waits, because he took it up to get this checked. And the scientist comes out and says, okay, we have a match. This person's name is William Kevin Bentley, and he's 52 years old, and he works as a private investigator. And now they have a match for this person, for this person's evidence, for this person's DNA, because somehow there was a hair that got caught in the pocket knife. Somehow, don't know how, but somehow a hair got caught in the pocket knife. And basically, they had taken this into thought, and they figured that this must be the person who did this. He went back to the office and he did some computer search on William Kevin Bentley, and basically the person completely matched the description of the dock owner's description of the person who tossed the body. And so they were like, this must be the person who killed the person that got tossed into the sea. So now they have to make an arrest for this person. They have to find him because they haven't even found him yet. So now I'm done with my part of the story. Dave, you can go ahead. I have to make sure that somehow the police now have him in the system as a murderer. Now you have to think, if you're going to try to, how he's going to get out of this. I probably threw off what you were thinking. We have to get this story finished. We have to get it finished. We have to finish it. It could be a tough ending, but we have to finish it. We have to. I want people to be able to contribute to the story time. I have to say, besides me, Dave is probably one who's contributing a lot to the story time. So I want Amy, I want Bud Klein, and I want Alan, I want all of you guys to be able to contribute to the story if you guys want to. If not, that's totally fine, but I want you guys to be able to have a fair game at it. Okay, Alan, I will. Good night, Alan. Yeah, if the connection was better. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with our internet, but I know that my internet hasn't been acting the best lately. They find Jonathan's father at the hospital just as Jonathan is waking up. The police question Jonathan's father about his knife. Jonathan questions Jonathan's father about his knife. Jonathan chimes in and says, "Dad, that is the knife that you gave me. But I thought it was gone for good. Mabel stole it from me when she kidnapped Kyra and took her to the cabin. I'm sorry, Dave, if I'm killing your creative juices with trying to end this story so quickly. It's not that I don't want you to contribute creatively to the story. It's just that I want everybody to be able to contribute equally. So that's why I'm trying to get this story to an ending, so that we start a new chapter and everything. Jonathan's father turns to the police and says, "Well, there you go, boys." The police heads to Mabel's department and finds all the evidence that Jonathan's father had planted there earlier while wearing gloves. The story can end without arch nemesis being caught. Well, that's true. But maybe we can introduce a new arch nemesis. Maybe we can introduce a new one. And you never know, the arch nemesis could be back. The arch nemesis can make a comeback too. He could get out of jail, he can sneak out. We don't have to make it so that he gets completely caught for now. I just want to get it so that there's like at least a happy ending for now, so to say. Mabel is arrested and convicted of the crime. Nancy cries in the courtroom, yelling that her sister was hypnotized, but since the chair of the department is dead, there is no one to prove anything. Hmm. Hmm. To make sure nothing happens and all loose ends are fixed, Jonathan's father flies to Switzerland, where he cannot be extradited or brought to the U.S., or if Mabel was never exonerated. Well, I think now the story could be like, I know I want him to go in jail, but that's like it could end that the case never gets solved. It could be that the case never gets solved. But the dad is happy in Europe. He can get away with a whole lot in Europe, I'm sure. The whole police system is probably different there in Europe than it is in here. I could be wrong. I don't know what it's like in Europe, but maybe he can get away with a lot more in Europe. He already killed all those other young women. That's true. But he was never connected. He was never convicted for that. There must have been some way that he was proved innocent. He did kill he did kill the women, but there must have been some way that he had made it look like that he was innocent. So he did plant evidence. He must have planted evidence to connect somebody else, and someone else must have gotten arrested for that. So basically, Mabel is convicted of the crime. No, they appeared accidental. Oh, okay. So no one was caught. It was accidental. Okay. All right. So it'll be made out to be accidental for each and every one of them. Even though the truth is Jonathan's father, William, did kill them. He made it look like accidental, like an accidental crime or an accidental. accident, or whatever you would call it. It was only Kyra that suspected mysterious circumstances. Yeah, okay, so it was only Kyra that suspected those mysterious circumstances. Okay. So now, we do have to figure out, maybe Amy will be able to, she could contribute to what happened to Kyra's best friend dying at Jonathan's father's house. They still have to find, they have to try to find, maybe they have to try to find Jonathan's father, where he went. But maybe he can make it so that he goes under a secret identity to Europe, uses a fake identity, he steals someone's identity, so that it makes it look like he himself didn't go to Europe. What do you think? He is in Switzerland, and he cannot be extradited. There are certain countries that a person can go, and the U.S. can never get them to come back here. Oh, I see. I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So basically now, can I contribute to the summary of this story, like the ending? Well, Dave, I honestly forgot that I was going to go live on Tuesday, but what happened was I had an interview. I had an interview at 3 o'clock, an hour after the time that I would have gone live, so I wouldn't even really have had time to be live anyways, because I'd have to drive there. I wanted to be there early during that day. It was in like maybe 20 minutes away where this interview was, and I wanted to be there before time so that in case if there's traffic, I'd be there on time. And so I went there early, and I was getting ready and everything for that interview at 3 o'clock. So if I would have went live, I would have been live for only like 5 minutes. So, but if I'm being honest with you, I completely forgot. But I'm still going to go live on Tuesdays, but I've just been busy, so I haven't been able to do a whole lot lately, at least for like live streams and videos and stuff. I got a video out today, but I'm literally trying to compose videos to upload to my channel. I've been super busy helping my mom, helping my dad, driving places and everything. So that's why I haven't been, I've been so busy. But basically, Jonathan is in complete disappointment of his father. He now is convinced that something's up with his father because, first of all, Jonathan did not get he did not even get to talk to his father before he left. He literally just disappeared, and he cannot reach him by phone. He cannot reach him by anything. So Jonathan is just completely in disappointment of his father. Kyra, she ends up being okay, and Mabel, of course, is in jail. And so basically, all of them go to the jail. They go to the jail cell where Mabel is, and they all meet up together at the same, or not at the same time, but like Nancy, Jonathan, and Kyra, they all meet at the cafe, and they talk about anything that was not talked about, like anything that just seemed a little off about the situation, and they resolved everything. They explained everything why Mabel did not include the chairman of her department and or her hairstylist in telling the story to them when they were at Kyra's house. That was cleared up, and they got that resolved, and Kyra has complete trust now in Nancy and in Mabel, and same with Jonathan. And basically, let's see, what else happens next? Is there anything that I'm missing, Dave? But they are powerless to get Mabel out of jail. Yeah. So Mabel, since she is made out to the crime, since there's evidence planted in her apartment, they ended up convicting her for a, let's see, I don't want to make it a long sentence, but I don't want to make it a short sentence either. I'm going to go ahead and just make it 30 years in jail with the chance of parole in 10 years. So she has the chance of parole, but if she doesn't get paroled, she'll have to stay in jail for 30 years. I think that's a fair amount of time. It's a lot, but it's a fair amount of time for someone being convicted of that crime. So we are going to have to introduce some new characters into the story because Mabel is now gone, and Mabel's ex is dead. Let's see. Nancy's still in the story. Debbie is still in the story. Jonathan and Kyra are still in the story. Now Bob has to get weaved into the story, and 132 Customs, he never came back. Don't know why, but he wasn't able to. He probably wouldn't have been able to contribute anyways to the story because it was already going in one direction anyways. So, but definitely, I think the story has turned out really good. But now everybody will have the chance to contribute. All the issues are resolved, and in that case that Jonathan's father was hired to do by that older lady never ends up being solved. She ends up going to a different private investigator or a different organization to help solve her crime because Jonathan's father was in jail, and it was put out in the news that Jonathan's father is now in jail. And now Jonathan doesn't have a good rap on him because his father... Wait, no. He wasn't put in jail. No. Sorry. Hold on. I have to think on how I want to explain this. Basically, Jonathan's father ran away from the crime, but the police knew that he was guilty somewhat of this crime. He was guilty of the crime. Basically on the news, it said that Jonathan's father, William Kevin Bentley, was going to be arrested for the crime, but he has escaped, and they have not found him. That was covered on the news. So now Jonathan has a bad rap on him. His reputation is soiled because of that, because of his father. Is there anything else you want to add, Dave? How is he going to be? So what Mabel was found guilty of all of it? I thought Mabel was only found guilty for oh, I'm missing a lot of the details then. I'm missing a lot of the details because I remember that Jonathan's father had planted had planted his evidence in Mabel's apartment. But the thing is, though, was that he, in the first crime, though, the brake fluid, the diamonds, the knives. Well, the thing was, Dave, was that there was a hair that was in that pocket knife. And that pocket knife had it had the hair in it, and when they did the DNA test on it, it matched William Kevin Bentley's DNA on it. Did I miss a part of the story? Oh, but she stole the knife? How did she steal the knife? Jonathan's dad had given it to his son, right? So of course his hair might be on it. Okay. That's okay. But do you remember how Mabel got hold of it though? Was it the knife was planted in her apartment, right? It was when he knocked out Jonathan and took Kyra to the cabin. It was when she knocked out Jonathan that she took the pocket knife. Oh, I see. Okay. They found the knife. Where did they find the knife? With the hair. Well, like, how was it connected to Mabel that she had the pocket knife? But at the hospital, Jonathan wakes up and says it was his, right? But Mabel had stolen it. Like, how did she steal it? Do you know how she stole it? Did she steal it at the time when she knocked out Jonathan and Kyra and took Kyra to the cabin? Was that how she got the knife? Did Jonathan have the knife at that time when Mabel had kidnapped Kyra to the cabin? They find Jonathan's father at the hospital just as Jonathan is waking up. When the police question Jonathan's father about his knife, Jonathan chimes in. That was the knife he gave me, but I thought it was gone for good. Mabel stole it from me when she kidnapped Kyra and took. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Jonathan's father turns to the police and says, well, there you go, boys. The police head to Mabel's apartment and finds all the evidence that Jonathan's father had planted there earlier. I see. Okay. That makes perfect sense now. That makes perfect sense. Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you for being patient with me and understanding and helping me to understand that. That makes sense now. Yeah, when you get to know me, I do miss details. I know you already know that I miss quite a bit of details, but I tend to miss a lot of details when it comes to reading. It's like I tend to when it comes to reading, I tend to skip over certain details if I think it's like if it's not like if I think it's not important at the time that I'm reading it. Sometimes I do that, but it turns out to be that they're more important than I realized. So I have to read every single little thing. I have to read every single little thing. So I need to pay attention when I read. I have to pay attention when I read. So I honestly have not worked on this picture a lot. I haven't worked on it a lot. I'm trying to think, what would I do? Oh, I need to do this part here too. There we go. But thank you, Dave, for being patient with me. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for making the story really nice and really interesting. I know Amy likes the story. Almost everybody that's been listening to the story is literally like on the edge of their seats. They really like it. They really, really like it. I think the next story should be a new mystery, but also trying to free Mabel somehow. Of course, Jonathan's father is free and clear. That's true. So he's out in Switzerland, and nobody knows that he's out in Switzerland right now. No one knows that he's out in Switzerland. So who knows what he's even doing right now? So okay, I'll let him stay. I'll let him stay. Have to think now who will be the bad guy, because pretty much all the bad guys now they're all gone, you know? I just hate how always the bad guys lose in movies and stuff. Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's not good that the bad guys win or anything. It's just, it's not always realistic. There are certain cases in real life that never ever get solved, and they the people who got hurt in the crime never get justice for what happened. That's what you're trying to portray in this story. You're not trying to let the bad guy win and trying to prove a moral story. You're just trying to make it look more realistic. It's the same tired thing over and over. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you're just trying to make it more realistic and everything, and I appreciate that too. In Batman. What happened in Batman? Those villains always escape. Huh, interesting. Well, it was like the Avengers Infinity War. In Infinity War, the ending actually didn't go in favor of the Avengers. Thanos actually won that part of the Avengers, and that actually made it look more realistic by doing that. It was a pretty interesting ending. I think Infinity War for sure was way better than Endgame, if you've seen that movie. Have you seen Avengers Infinity War and Endgame? I think I may have spoiled it for you if you haven't seen it. Like literally the people who had watched Infinity War, they had to see Endgame because it was like a part two. A part two had to be birthed. You have not seen them. Well, I recommend seeing them. I think they're really, really good. I think that they're probably some of the best Avengers movies yet. I think it's like Endgame is like the ending to Infinity War. It's like the proper ending to Infinity War. But Infinity War, um, it it like gives the basic background for Endgame. You couldn't watch Endgame and not watch um, Infinity War. He liked Peppa Pig. Oh, but I tend not to enjoy comic books really or movies based on superheroes. My your boys, especially the oldest ones, like those. The youngest one is too young still. Yeah, he liked Peppa Pig. Yeah, I understand. I think it's a good idea to not let the youngins be exposed to that type of stuff. Anyways, it's I mean, if I'm being honest with you, no one should at any point of their lives be exposed to that type of violence anyways that's shown in movies and stuff. But I mean, it's unavoidable in this world. It's really unavoidable. So it's like every adult, in some way or another, knows that evil is around and know what like knows, you know. So how are your nephews doing? Do you have any nieces? Or is it just nephews? No, just the nephews? Because, oh man, I'm sorry. Wow. So, if you don't mind me asking, um, is the father at all involved? They're doing okay. I told Amy about one of them who was having nightmares, so I'm up late sometimes. I'll pray about that, Dave. I'll definitely keep your nephews in my prayers and stuff. I'll definitely do that for you. The father is not. He left my sister. He left your sister before. I'm sorry. That must be really hard to deal with and to work with. You must be really busy all the time because of that, huh? Dean is the oldest and Marcus is the youngest. Dean had been getting bullied in school, but he and his brother are really close, even though they are 5 years apart. That's really good. That's really good, Dave. I think that's probably one of the most important things to have is to be able to know that your nephews are having a good relationship with each other, because it's important to have peace at the house, and when the kids are doing that, it's just not good. It's not good at all. Yeah, me and my sister, we have a good relationship too. I mean, we're certainly not perfect at by any means, but I think we have a better relationship than most siblings do. I think we do. I think she would agree. I know she would agree. Because usually how it works is if there's two kids and it's a boy or a girl, they don't always get along with each other, or they're not very close to each other, like they don't want to hang out with each other and stuff. Me and my sister has been wanting to hang out with me, which is really good, and I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that she wants to do that with me. Geez, I'm not even showing the picture being colored right now. What in the world's my deal? Sorry about that. Okay, I need to sharpen this pencil. I need to find a sharp-ended pencil. No. But, on another note, I'm actually, once I finish this project that I'm doing with my die-cast car and do a video, or may not even do a video on it before I start the video for this project, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be filming a renovation project for one of my die-cast model cars. I'm going to do a video on this one that I'm transforming right now, but right now I am working on finishing it. It's actually almost done, but I'm going to be filming the ins and outs of that project and how I start it, how I finish it, and what to do when that happens, when you're in that type of project, which is going to be really nice. I think it's going to be really good. I hope it gets a lot of views. I know that in general my videos have been getting more views, which I am so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. I just hope that this video doesn't get like I hope that it goes like viral or something, you know? There's this person that I know, his channel is called Small World, and he does projects like what I want to try to do. And he literally, I don't know how in the world he did it, but his channel had blown up so quickly that he literally has like 200,000 something subscribers just from doing 12 or so videos, and I do not even understand it. Don't even understand it. So hopefully that's the case with mine, and I'm able to, you know, be able to get that many views on my video. But I'm glad that we'll be able to start the story fresh now, since that story has been resolved. It didn't end on a great note, but it ended on some note, you know? So I'm fine with that ending. Mabel can be in jail, and she could probably get out even earlier or something, you know? She could probably get out for a good time. So we'll see, you know? We'll see. I think maybe I'll try to get her out for a good time. I think what I may try to do is I'll get the police officers to see her good heart, and I'll try to get her out sooner. I know Amy is probably going to be like, oh, she's in jail, but I think we can try to get her out on a good note. What do you think? Try to get her out that way. Geez, I keep messing up. It's like I keep making the same mistake over and over again. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, Amy likes Nancy. We just can't have Nancy die or something. That's just what we cannot let that happen. That's for sure. But I think she may like Mabel too. I don't know. But I think since Mabel is Nancy's sister, maybe she likes her. So I would think she likes her. So just as long as nothing happens to Nancy, I think we'll be okay. Because that is technically her character. I wanted to involve Nancy into the story, but I just wanted her to like have a sister. So I created Maple. I don't think she would care as much. Yeah, I don't think she would either. But like anybody else, you know, like you, like Victor, like Raymond, they would all have the same amount of care for Mabel. You know, like Nancy, like Mamie doesn't have the same care for Mabel as she does Nancy because she didn't create Mabel. I created Mabel. So okay, so now what part do I want to do? Do I want to do the tail lights? What do I want to do? And remember last week I had Kyra tell Jonathan she. That's right. That's right. So they may end up starting to date. They may end up starting to date in the next story. Oh, you know what I may do? I know what I can do. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say it, but I think I know what I'm going to do. You know, I may end up making Bob a bad guy. Sorry, Victor. He's not probably listening, or if he is, sorry. But I know Victor lurks. I know he's a lurker, so he may be lurking right now because there is 5 people in here and only one's talking, so I know that there's people who are listening. Okay, so I have to find the right red here. So this is the color Prismacolor Premiere that I'll be using. This is a crimson red. It's kind of hard to tell. But he should be a guy around Mabel's age. Well, what I was thinking, Dave, was I was thinking that he was going to be friends with Jonathan. I was thinking that he was going to be friends with Jonathan. That's what my idea was. He was going to be friends with Jonathan, and he was going to be in his 20s. Okay, that's not working. I just messed it up. That's just great. And now I'm going to have to go a light color over the top of that because I just smeared it everywhere. Me and my brilliant mind. Okay, how am I going to fix this? I think I may take this cloud blue pencil and go over the top. Would be nice to have Bob as a henchman for Jonathan's father while he's out for the country, free from prosecution at a distance, but still connected to Jonathan's father. Maybe fall for Kyra and be a foil for Jonathan. Well, I'm definitely thinking he would maybe be a foil for Jonathan, but I don't think we should have him be connected to Jonathan's father. I think you can try to introduce somebody, a new main character, as someone that will replace Jonathan's father, but I don't think Bob should be. I don't think Bob should be connected to Jonathan's father. That's just my opinion. What I was thinking was I was gonna try to get Bob to make Jonathan look bad, like try to have an affair with someone other girl when it's actually not the truth. That's what I was thinking, but maybe we could just have them try to compete with each other, you know? Right now I'm looking for my pencil sharpener. I don't think it's in here. It may be in one of my other drawers. But what do you think, Dave? There it is. I found it. It sounds okay, but Bob should be hardcore evil with no coincidence. I don't know, Dave. I think again you should probably introduce someone new that we have a specific. Me and Victor have a specific idea of Bob. Bob is that annoying salesman who tries to call you and tries to get you to buy an extended warranty for your vehicle. He actually lost his job. Well, I was making him bad, but I wasn't making him hardcore bad. There's a different level of evil that I was trying to get him out to be, but you're trying to make him out to be like this hardcore evil, and I don't think he should, personally. But I think he should just kind of have like an evil side to him. If that's okay with Victor, though, because I did give Victor express permission to use Bob, so it all just depends. Oh my gosh! Of course, the end broke. But I was making him bad. That's true. But I wasn't trying to make him bad to the level that you were, if that makes sense. But I will give if you want to, I will give you permission to add a new character to the story that is Jonathan's father's replacement. If you want. Well, I guess I can create another dastardly villain. Yep, and you'll have a lot of time to think about it. You'll have a lot of time to think about it. So, that's for sure. Oh my gosh, what is this thing doing? It literally just started to draw red color onto the paper. Like, what in the world? This is a blue colored pencil, not red. I may just end up having to go over this part with a dark colored marker anyways, or a dark colored pencil, because if you guys can see, there's red in that blue shade from the red taillight. So I'm going to have to fix that somehow. But yeah, you could do a really dastardly villain. You could make him out to be really bad. You can make him even worse. Do you have a major in mind when you decide to go to university? Well, I don't know. I mean, I had industrial design in mind, but I don't know. I don't know if that would be the more realistic approach because I have a specific industry that I want to get into if I get that degree. I want to go into the automotive industry and design vehicles specifically with my um, industrial design degree, but I don't know. Like if I go to college, I want to get a degree that I'd be able to use right away. I don't want to just get a degree and then um, not be able to use it, you know? Because there are people who go to college and they don't get to use their degree, you know? I'm sure you know that too, you know? People who get doctorate degrees, people who get even who get other degrees and they like an art degree, they don't even get to use it because that's not what makes them money at the moment. They can they could get that degree, but they're not guaranteed the job anymore like it used to be. So people are working at McDonald's with art degrees, literate degrees, you know, people are in debt till they're in their 60s from college debt, and it's terrible. It's terrible how it's what's happening. At least in America. I don't know if that's what it's like for you in England, but at least here in America, people are graduating and they're not able to use their degrees because people are not wanting to hire them. Because it's like a degree doesn't get you anything anymore. It's like people who who don't even have a degree can actually get a job that would normally require a degree. I don't actually, Dave. I'm not dating anyone right now, so and I don't plan on dating anyone anytime soon. I think just in general, dating is just way too much of a commitment. It's way too much of a commitment. Maybe when my life gets somewhat in order, maybe I'll start finding a girlfriend, but for right now, I will not. Will not. But I'm sorry, I should probably be talking right now. It is a bit difficult. No one wants to date me because I have two kids to raise, and that takes a lot of time away. Yeah, usually that's the case. Anyways, people when they hear that you have kids, it's like, oh, it's a major turn off. But it's like if they if girls don't want to date you because you're doing that, then they're not the right person for you. The 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 right girl will come around for you if the Lord wants you to have someone to date, and they will want to help you with your kids. They will totally be fine with your kids anyways. It's like people who subscribe to my channel and people who unsubscribe. The people who unsubscribe, they were probably never meant to subscribe to my channel anyways. I don't know. But the people who will be interested in my content will watch my content. They will not just be, they won't be just a number. You're not just a number to me, Dave. You're one of my regulars, and you're someone who actively supports my channel. And so you're not just a dead number, but I have a lot of dead numbers on my channel. A lot of these people that are subscribed to me, I'm not saying, I know there's people who have recently subscribed to me, but a lot of the older people who've been subscribed to me for a long time, like maybe like 3 years ago, there's people from James Cox that are still subscribed to me, but I'm sure only every once in a while they'll come on my channel or something and they'll comment, but I don't get to see them comment on my channel and stuff. Well, that's true, Dave, but usually sometimes when that happens, they'll be like they'll not so, like what you're saying, what it'll be is they won't post for a while. They won't even watch other people's videos or comment on other people's videos and stuff. But maybe they do lose their internet and stuff. There is so many things that happen with people's YouTube and stuff that it's literally not even funny. But there are some people who actively do use YouTube, and they've been subscribed to me for a while, but they just stay subscribed and they don't go through their subscriptions, and they unsubscribe from people who they won't watch. That's what I did. Maybe like 4 months ago, I went through my 4 or 5 months ago, I went through my list and I had subscribed from at least 100 people who I subscribed from James Cox, and I unsubscribed from them because I won't watch their content. It's not anything against them personally. Some of them it's like people who will come on and like once and will request me to watch their videos even though they don't watch mine. I'll unsubscribe from them, but some of them it's just I won't watch their content. It's not that they're bad people, it's just I don't want to be just a dead number to people. Some of them could be trolls too. Yeah, that could be the case too. That could be the case too, Dave. They could be trolls. I know at least with one girl that I knew, she had her channel blew up so quickly. It blew up so quickly, and I don't know if she was going to people to get her numbers, or if she was if the trolls were just finding her and subscribing to her. But I know that there were people on the internet who were finding her, either going through people like James Cox or just finding her videos. So there were people who were genuinely interested in her content, but I know that a lot of them were trolls. Her video stats, like within 20 minutes, there would be at least 30 views on it. And that's insane for a small YouTuber like me. I would usually never get that many views in like 20 minutes. So there was active trolls on her account that subscribed to her and would go to her videos to see if she posted anything that was offensive to them. I know that for sure. Some of them for sure could be trolls. But I know that at least recently I haven't been having trolls, which I'm very thankful for. I prayed about it and the Lord was faithful, and the Lord is faithful to answer our prayers, and he hasn't allowed trolls to come on my channel, which is really good. So I don't know. I know that I think Amy and Terry have had a couple of trolls here and there. I don't know about Terry for sure, but I know that Amy, I think she's had a couple of them. But it was not as bad as it was before when I was getting hit really bad. But man, when I got hit really bad, it was terrible. It was really terrible. It was like literally every minute there would be someone who would come in and comment, you know? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there were a couple of people that I had made a mod just because I know I needed their help at the time. But I don't think that I will be adding any more people to my mod list because I haven't been having trolls lately. And my sister is she's probably the best moderator that I have because we're both in the same time zone and we get the messages at the same time. So she will actively, if I do have trolls, actively moderate too. So, but I have a lot of people on my moderator list. I have my mom, my dad, Victor, Amy, Mark, Levi, Julian, a couple of other people, but yeah, it's just I don't think I'll be adding anybody else to my list just because I won't be needing any more. I don't want to have a lot of people be my moderators anyway. I just wanted to just be an even balance, you know. But I'll go ahead and show you guys what I'm kind of using to help. So I'm using this model car that I have. It is the Lamborghini Centenario. You can kind of see a little bit where I've been getting my help from. Kind of like this line right here. That's there, and just other things, kind of like the front end a little bit, and things like that. You know, I don't know. I don't know if she had that many at one time. I know she had a lot of trolls, um, but yeah, I know that Amy was getting trolled hard time too. Yeah, I mean, the person who originally was being trolled, she's not on YouTube anymore. Um, I I didn't personally see what happened to her, like what when she took down her channel and everything, but I know that she's not on YouTube, so it is a bummer that she left, but you know, what can you do? And at this point, it's like I didn't really know her personally, but it was just a bummer that she was getting, you know, just that trolled that much. But is everything okay at work and stuff? Are you getting messed with at work? Someone. She must have made a lot of people mad from what happened. Not anymore. Good. Good. Yeah, your boss. Yeah, I do remember you saying that your boss didn't believe it, which is good. I'm very glad that that was the case, that your boss didn't fire you. I'm glad that your boss didn't fire you. That would have been very bad. So, my phone takes a long time for it to charge. Well, it takes like maybe about an hour and a half or 2 hours for it to charge. Like now it's at 97% and it's been plugged in for at least the time of this live stream. So it's been 2 hours. So it takes about that much time when it's on for it to get completely charged. To be honest though, I almost did not come back to your channel after that. Well, thank you for being honest with me. I appreciate that. I understand. It's like I mean, you're not obligated to come to my channel anyways, so, and it was not like, I wasn't trying to get, I just hate that the trolls went after you, because you did not do anything. I didn't do anything either, but since I associated myself with this specific person, they went after me. So, don't know why, but they did. And so, they were just trying to prove a point, and they were trying to prove a point to me by going after you and going after other people too, and it was certainly not okay. It was certainly not okay. Well, it's like after what happened with me in the trolling situation, it was like it's not, I don't have anything personal against her because she didn't do anything to me, but I honestly don't know what happened. I don't know if I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened, and since I'm not a witness to exactly what happened, I don't want to take sides. I want to be neutral. Like, I won't back the trolls, but I will not necessarily back her. So I just won't, I'm just neutral. Neutral. Like, I don't know what they were saying, if what they were saying was true, but I don't know if what she was saying was true. So, yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, so one of my friends on Facebook had let me know that they left. Someone had commented on their channel and had let them know. And I think that person actually had commented on my video too and let me know as well, but I just didn't read it all the way, I think. Yeah, the whole story is just pretty interesting. Like, I wish I knew the truth. I wish I knew the truth, but I don't know it, so I can't exactly take a side anymore. And it's going to be the same with every single situation from now on. Yeah, I understand that completely, Dave. And it's like, for now on, with YouTube situations, unless if I haven't seen it personally and seen it for myself, I'm not going to take a side. I'm just going to be neutral. I'm not going to make a video about it and address it. I may talk about it in my live streams, but I'm certainly not going to make a video and address it. So um, unless if I'm not a witness to it personally, then I will not do it. So um, I'm just going to be a neutral person on YouTube. So I remember that saying when your comments were deleted. What do you? Oh, that day when your comments. You mean your personal information and stuff? knowing your chat, some mod deleted everyone. Oh, yep. This troll, whoever this person was, this person set up as one of my other moderators and started to delete every single message of that live stream. So, they certainly, I do not know what they were trying to prove with that anyways. It's honestly really stupid, because you think you're going to try to win me over of what Joy has done by being rude to me? They are honestly, they did not make, their logic didn't make sense. So trying to do that to me was certainly not going to try to convince me that they were right. So it was honestly pretty ridiculous. But again, I'm sorry about that person. I did not know that they were a troll, but I know that's why from now on I'm not going to just make anybody a moderator. If I'll be checking their profiles, I'll be doing everything. You know, that really taught me a lesson really quickly. It just seemed like they were mad, not trying to convince anything. They probably were mad. And you know, they honestly had no reason to be mad at me anyways. There was literally no reason. Literally no reason. But you know, people get mad over the weirdest things. Even if you don't do anything personally to them, people look for offense, and if they find something that will trigger them, they'll explode and they'll lose their cool. Well, I mean, yeah, I thought that she was right. I thought she was. At that time, I thought she was, and so basically, at that time, I did defend her. But now I'm just neutral. So I'll just be like, if somebody tries to talk about her on my stream, I'll be like, look, that's none of our business anyways. I don't want you to talk about her. I don't want you to talk about her on my channel. That's not any of our business to know what she's done. So I want you to don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. And so basically, that's why now I'm just going to be neutral. Well, I changed to neutral because, one, I'm not a witness to what happened. I only was introduced to her through all of these problems, all of these trolls harassing her and stuff. And look, I like that she shouted me out on her channel and stuff. I like that she did that and everything. I just don't know what she did. I didn't know what she did. I didn't see what video she posted. I didn't see what she had said to trigger the trolls. So because of that, I didn't. That's why I'm neutral. I won't. And it's not that I'm specifically talking about her. It's going to be the same with everybody. I'm not going to just, if I didn't witness it, then I'm going to be neutral. It's not that I'm going to just be neutral about this situation. I'm going to be neutral with every single situation that arises like this. If I didn't witness it, then I'm going to be neutral. That's why I've changed my stance. Unless if I become a witness to it and I see it with my very eyes, the truth, then I will be neutral. And look, if she comes into my channel, I'm going to treat her just like anybody else. I'm going to be kind to her, and I'm not going to time her out or anything. But I'm certainly not going to try to, I'm just going to stay neutral. So that's why I feel like that. The person who called my boss told me that I was abusing an elderly lady on the internet. Oh my word. So I think they may might be something. They might. So I think maybe that might be something because I thought that was weird. I don't even talk to older people. Yeah, yeah, pretty weird. Yeah, Amy is not. She's not old. Yeah. She's not. No, she's not an elder. No. So it's like, yeah, it's just really ridiculous. Really ridiculous. They were obviously talking about you know who. But other than you, she is the only one I talked to. Yeah. So I was trying to figure out who was the older. But yeah, it's the girl that, she shut down her channel and everything. So, um, yeah, it's just, they were talking about her. So, oh, they said you were abusing? Sorry, not talking, but abusing, yeah. Well, I don't know why it would be her. I don't know why. If it was, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Well, I I honestly don't know. It's like I since I don't know her personally, I don't know what she does in her free time. I honestly don't know. And so I can't say that she didn't do those things, but I can't say that she did. So I don't know. If she was the older girl, they were taking up taking up for her. Well, anybody can take any situation and make them look like they're trying to help somebody, but in fact they're not. So it could have been the trolls, but maybe it couldn't have been. You can't always look at how something happens to determine um, the truth about something. It's like in all these mystery stories, how it appears. You can't take that all the evidence planted in Mabel's apartment and say that she did it, even though it looked like she did. You can't make it seem like you can't, that it's not her that did it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, and so it's like they can always make it look one way. Anybody can make one thing look like a certain way, but it actually be the opposite. So that's with everybody. It's with everybody, including me. So it's it's just how we are as humans. We naturally go to evil tendencies and we lie and um, we do evil things to cover our butts. So I'm curious. I wonder if this eraser takes off the grease from this model car. Let's see. It actually did not. It didn't take off the grease. It actually put like a film over it. But I'll probably take Windex at some point. Don't know when, but at some point and clean it. But I think I'm gonna go. I have some things that I have to do. I have to study for an interview. I also have to study. Well, yeah, I have to study for that. I have to finish a project for my model car. I have to respond to somebody's comment. They're French, so I have to translate their comment. It takes a bit of time and respond to them and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Thank you so much, Dave, for staying around as long as you have. I greatly appreciate it. And to anybody else who's watching, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was very entertaining. Don't forget to give this stream a like, you guys. It really helps out my analytics when you do, so definitely give this stream a thumbs up. And I will be talking to you guys very, very soon. As long as I'm not busy, then I'll go live on Tuesday at 2. As long as I don't have anything on Tuesday. Actually, let me go ahead and check my calendar and see what that will be. What day that will be, and if I have anything booked for that day. So Tuesday is... Okay, hold on, I want the month calendar on my phone. So Tuesday is the 8th. So I should be free on Tuesday. I don't know if anything will come up on Tuesday, but it all just depends. If I'm not going out anywhere, or if I don't have any interviews planned on that day, then I'll most likely go live on Tuesday at 2. So I'll definitely do that for sure. So, alright, I'll go and I'll be heading on off. So, bye Dave, bye everybody.